Darkwing was more than just a vigilante. He was a symbol of resilience in the Invincible universe. As a member of the Guardians of the Globe, he held his ground among superpowered beings through sheer skill, intellect, and determination. But his story is marked by both heroism and tragedy. Without wasting too much time, let's get to breaking down Darkwing's full history. Benjamin Taylor started out as Nightboy, the sidekick to the original Darkwing. The Guardians of the Globe and Darkwing himself believed that Nightboy had the potential to become something great, fueling Benjamin's desire to make them proud. After his mentor's death, Benjamin took the role and carried on the legacy as the new Darkwing. Overwhelmed by the relentless crime in Midnight City, Darkwing eventually snapped. His frustrations led him to take justice into his own hands, killing anyone he deemed a criminal. When Mark encountered him and questioned his actions, Darkwing tried to cover it up, but Mark saw through the lies. In a desperate attempt, Darkwing attacked him, although his efforts were futile. Unable to harm Mark, he pulled them both into the Shadowverse. However, Mark refused to back down, forcing them both to surrender, and wasn't too long before Darkwing was taken into custody. Cecil Stedman saw potential in Darkwing and offered him a chance at redemption, recruiting him to fight crime with the Guardians of the Globe. When Doc Seismic and the Global Defense Agency's Reaniman attacked, Darkwing proved his worth by easily pulling Seismic into the Shadowverse, but Mark harshly criticized him, calling him a murderer, before storming off in anger. While Robot defended Darkwing, some of the older Guardians started to question his place on the team, but he was ultimately accepted anyway. Later, Darkwing and the Guardians were overpowered by the Mauler twins, and after Oliver defeated them, Darkwing was left stunned alongside his teammates. Down the road, Invincible and Gary Hampton, aka the Astounding Wolfman, find themselves on the run from Cecil Stedman, who sends in the Guardians of the Globe, including Darkwing. Darkwing accuses Wolfman of being a murderer, to which Invincible retorts and insists that Darkwing should be locked up for good. After a tense exchange, the Guardians of the Globe prepare to attack, but Invincible takes the Immortal and uses him as a weapon, swinging him at his teammates. So much so that the Force knocks all of them out, including Darkwing. At the Guardians of the Globe HQ locker room, Black Samson runs into Darkwing and casually asks if Shapesmith has returned from Art's shop, since they were supposed to train. A downcast Darkwing responds that he hasn't seen him. Concerned, Black Samson asks if everything is okay, to which Darkwing opens up, revealing that killing people has changed him, and that he'll never be the same again. Aside from his fallout with the original Guardians after his power loss, Darkwing always looked up to them. He genuinely believed that what he did after the first Darkwing's death was justified, thinking it was necessary to regain control over the chaos in Midnight City. But now, he senses that both the Immortal and Black Samson can see he's no longer the same person who once ran around as Nightboy. Darkwing starts to question if Invincible was right about him, but Black Samson reassures him, acknowledging that anyone would crack after spending so much time in Midnight City. He tells Darkwing that they no longer see him as the kid he used to be. Instead, they see a man they're proud to fight alongside, and one who's earned the name of Darkwing. After a pause, Darkwing, who is moved by the words, quietly mutters a thank you. Along with the rest of the Guardians, he is eventually defeated and overpowered by the corrupted Mark. So in a final act of defiance, Darkwing uses the last of his strength to pull Mark into the Shadowverse. Nevertheless, since neither Darkwing nor the evil Mark emerged from the Shadowverse, it's implied that both likely perished. In his final moments, Darkwing sacrificed himself in order to ensure that the others would survive. The original Darkwing was notably different from the current one, drawing heavy inspiration from Gotham's Dark Knight, Batman. He possessed a similar skill set, driven by vengeance, and relied on advanced gadgets and hand-to-hand combat rather than superhuman abilities. However, when his protege, Nightboy aka Darkwing, took up his mantle, he failed to live up to the legacy, unable to match the original Darkwing's effectiveness or presence. Firstly, he is not a disciplined crime fighter, but rather an unstable and brutal one. Contrary to his predecessor, he lives under constant pressure to protect the city, leading to him committing grievous acts and losing control sometimes.